Hello Pisces, my name is Tanya and I'm going to be doing a month ahead reading for you for January. I'm going to pull some tarot cards and I'm also going to pull an oracle card at the end. And after I read intuitively of it, I am going to read you the entry that the book has, the full entry from the book for this. And this is told from the perspective of a magical hare in the Wand Wood, so I'm enjoying those and I'm going to read to you. That's at the end though. For now, let's get into your tarot reading. So this is going to be for January, for my Pisces viewers. I did pre-shuffle these. They are not the easiest cards to shuffle. They're little and thick. It's a very nice deck. I'm enjoying it immensely. So what do we have for Pisces for January? Let us see. Okay, we have the Knight of Chalices, the Three of Pentacles, the World, Two of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. So I'm just going to take a moment to look at these and then see what's coming through. The term one step forward, two steps back is coming through, but I think that's something that you're coming through or coming from. We'll see as we go through these, but that's what it feels like. Yeah. Feels like you're rushing in and trying to get away from something, possibly a betrayal, okay. Or something that just you're feeling in a way you haven't ever felt before, kind of thing. But it gets better and things improve. But this is ushering in a new era for you. But you have to go through it in order to get there. Okay, let's see what each of the cards individually have to say. That's just an overall. It's interesting. Never quite what I expect when I'm just looking at all the cards. So we're starting out here with the Knight of Chalices. A knight for me is someone who, in a way, the energy is a bit like someone who has just graduated college, so they have knowledge, but they don't have any experience. So they're out in the world excited and trying to use everything they learned and experimenting and seeing what does and doesn't work for them. Now, they could be someone who lies, who doesn't always tell the truth because they're still learning, right? And they're more focused probably on ego. They haven't learned necessarily compassion yet. Okay. So this is someone who gets in over their head. These chalices are going to be about our emotions and intuition, and it's a quick moving energy. So they're going to be leading with their heart rather than their head, and going a bit willy-nilly and trampling on things possibly as they go. Because at this point they don't know any better. They don't understand the value of what's beneath the hooves. Not at this point in their life. They're just not ready. They're not mature enough for something that's long-term or commitment or anything like that. Now, you could be that person on the horse, or you could be someone who has experienced that person on the horse. Whichever way, whoever you are there are lessons to be learned that are taught. And some of that is about compassion and a little bit of moving on from it. Compassion for them and compassion for yourself as you're moving through this, as you're navigating the choppy waters that are left behind, what's left behind in the wake. The goal would be to focus on what's best for you, which was not them, and vice versa. So if there was some betrayal or someone you thought was more committed than they were, have compassion for yourself. It was not wrong to feel that way. It was not wrong to have that love for that person, that interest in that person. It's just not meant to be at this time. Something better is waiting for you down the road, but you need to go through this experience in order to learn those feelings, to learn what you do and don't like and want. As painful, aggravating, maddening as that situation might have been or is. But it's done, and it's the only thing you can do here now is move forward and move on. Then we have the Three of Pentacles. So this is a card about community. This is a card about working together with your community, with the tools, with the plans, with what you have at hand and who you're with and around right now. So being present in the moment and building up something, contributing to something that's for the greater good. Possibly that helps distract you from this and helps you move on. It keeps you busy, keeps you occupied, and allows you to grow or build your skills and to show off your skills in some way. And to accept the mistakes, to even show them off and wear them a little bit as a badge of honor. Making them a design feature rather than a negative. Your scars are what help build you and create who you are. And they're beautiful because they're part of you. So, focus on this community project or growth. There may be, it's going to be a small project with maybe one or two other people, likely two, because it's a 3. But it's about building something and looking toward the future and being present now and not continuing to sink back into the malaise of what's just passed. And we're moving on here to the world. So this is a turning point. And it's a very short transition for you. So this is how you know too that it really wasn't meant to be. Even though right here at the beginning of the month, you're feeling in all the feels, right? But by the time you get to mid-month, you're recognizing, ooh, that was a close call. That could have been bad long term. And feeling really good too about your progress and what you've built here together with your community. And it's a point of maturity for you. Emotional maturity is what it feels like mostly. And being more self-focused. But so the world is a major arcana card. It's the last card in the major arcana. This is the point that the Fool reaches the end of his journey, or the end of one journey. And he's ready now to step out into something new, completely new to him. Fresh, invigorating, exciting. So you've been through it up to this point. And now you're closing the door on that, on the past, and moving forward. And you don't know what the future has to bring, and that's okay. That's exciting. It's something to look forward to. It's something to be curious about. But it is definitely feels like it's the closing the door on the past so that you can focus on what's right for you in the now. And then we have the Two of Swords. This is a card about making a decision, about choices. You don't know what the right choice is. in this case. It can go either way. You could choose not to make a decision. That's also an option, but then you're kind of stuck where you're at. A decision has to be made. Which way do you want to swing that sword? You won't be able to see what's coming. You just have to trust yourself to make the right decision. And either decision is the right decision. So feel into it. Which one feels the most right to you? Which one feels like what's best for you? No one else. What feels best for you? Which one do you really want to do? Then do that one. Pick that choice. Pick joy for you. And then we have the Queen of Wands. She is bold, passionate, vivacious. She has no trouble making a decision on the spot. She is full steam ahead in whatever it is she loves doing. She's passionate, excited, very encouraging, right? She's going to cheer you on. So this could be someone who is literally cheering you on, a good friend maybe you met as part of this community project here, who's encouraging you, who's helping you maybe with whatever choice you make here. This leads you to this person, or they helped you make that decision. They helped give you information so that you could make the best decision for yourself. This can also be you stepping into your own power in this thing, because this whole new world is opening up to you. This may be you stepping into your power in whatever this area is for you. This could be a new passion, maybe related to something you learned about yourself here. Maybe it's stepping out of the normal 9-to-5 and into a creative career, but something that has just fired you up and it gets you excited and you're looking forward to what is to come. And you know exactly what you're doing in here. So you have the skills and the knowledge. You're the queen. You have that power. You're at that level. Don't be afraid to feel that, to be that. Let's take a card from the bottom of the deck. And then we have the Five of Chalices. I feel like this harkens back a little bit to this Knight of Chalices. Because fives are a challenge. They're a complication. And again, with our emotions. So there may be, so there may be points even after all this. Yes, you are human, okay? You will sometimes think back on this. You will sometimes consider the possibilities that were lost there, even though they weren't really lost, because it's just the idea of them. It's what you thought was possible there. So you may sometimes go back and look at those things with regret. Bring yourself back, though, to the present moment and see what's ahead of you, what you have to look forward to, the possibilities that are open up to you because that did fail. Your life gets better. You become more confident and you step into your power, which is not something that could have happened if things had gone differently. Let's see what your oracle card is. You have question. Interesting. Yes. Question yourself. Question this person if you want to. Always be curious. Question 2, when you get into this looking back and sliding back into that state and into those memories, come up with different questions about how you were feeling in that moment. Why were you feeling it that way in that moment? Why did you put so much expectation on that person? Where are you at now? How do you feel now that you're at the other end of the month? Be curious about your future, about your present. Who is around you? What is it that you really want to do? What makes you truly happy? What do you want out of a relationship? What do you really want out of a partner? What have you learned from all of this? Just have lots of questions coming through. Let's see what the entry in the book is. Now, I'm enjoying these. I think I mentioned at the beginning, these are told from the first person point of view of a magical hare in the wand wood. Now, this book is not alphabetical or anything, so I'm just searching for the matching picture. Hopefully we come across it fairly quickly. That's not it. Okay. Well, what else can we talk about here? I would say, so what else with curious? I also have the, I'm thinking of Harry Potter when I see this hat here. And no, I'm not big on the Harry Potter stuff. So I don't even know what the name of the hat is. The choosing hat, whatever it is. But it's asking all of the questions is going to help lead you to your future, lead you to answers that help you move forward and help you make choices in the future. Okay, I found him. The Witch Stone. Question. Rocks, stones, standing stones, moving stones, boulders, and even pebbles all have their place in Wandwood, most insisting it's been their home for far longer than the first tree broke the ground as a hesitant young sapling. And it would be hard to argue otherwise, not because they are necessarily wrong, but because the one thing all rocks, stones, and pebbles of Wandwood enjoy most is arguing. You tell them one thing, they'll try their utmost to persuade you otherwise, often with quite furious faces. There is, however, one stone that takes life less seriously, the Witch Stone, whose reputation as trickster and mischief maker is legendary. No one is safe from her japes. All who have encountered her have tales to tell. Once she managed to convince the entire village of Winchet Dale that their homes were built upside down and needed immediate rebuilding in order to stop creatures falling up into the sky. Perhaps thinking only a complete clodibus would ever believe such a thing, yet within hours creatures were setting to work with hammers and saws, determined to turn their lives upside down on the word of a stone they already knew full well to be a trickster. Wow, that's resonating, isn't it? Another time she spread the infamously clodibus rumor that Winchet Dale was shortly to be at the mercy of twizzly creatures disguised as large raindrops. It took me an entire week to calm everyone's nerves. When a curious visitor once asked me why I wasn't angry with the Witch Stone for twizzling the creatures and giving me so much extra work, I took them to the stone for the answer. So, here's the secret, the stone told my visitor. Firstly, I have so much fun doing it. You should see some of the things those creatures believe. But isn't it rather cruel? My visitor said, taken aback by the laughing stone in the witch's hat. The witching stone composed herself. But in the process, she replied, the creatures gradually learned to question things, wondering how and why they could be tricked by something so obviously clodibus. For it is only through knowledge that they learn to trust their own convictions, rather than blindly following rumor. So perhaps, in many ways, I am also one of the greatest teachers they have. After my visitor asked me if I'd ever been tricked by the Witch Stone, I'm sure I have many times. Perhaps she was tricking us both just now. The truth is, we'll never know, which is why we have to question so much about ourselves and the world around us to find the right answers. She also told me I would be truly wise one day. Was that a trick too? Even if it was, I replied, what's to stop you? Then one day you'll know a mischievous talking stone in a witch's hat has played her own magical part in it. Which, I think, would be rather zastaculous, don't you? Remember to constantly question all that surrounds you, and be careful of stones wearing witches' hats. Or knights riding in on the waves. I think that was perfect. And no, I had not read that before. please hit that like button and please hit subscribe to help me grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching and have a fantastic month. I'll talk to you later.